So we have seen that neuroleadership isn't a buzzword. It's grounded in science. We have explored why stress pushes people downstairs into the amygdala and why psychological safety brings them back upstairs into the prefrontal cortex, where better thinking and better leadership happen. But here's the question. Why do some conversations instantly trigger threat while others spark trust, motivation, and collaboration even when the facts are exactly the same? That's where we'll go next with one of the most practical frameworks in neuroscience, the SCARF model.
The core insight of SCARF model is this. The social brain treats social threats and rewards using the same neural circuits as physical rewards and threats. A public humiliation activates the same threat response as physical threat.
SCARF stands for 5 social demands that trigger either threat or reward states in the brain. Status, our relative importance compared to others. Certainty, our ability to predict the future. Autonomy, our sense of control over our own situation. Relatedness, whether we feel safe with someone or not. And the last is fairness, our perception of equitable exchanges.
This is fascinating. The Neuroleadership Institute has been tracking the SCARF drivers since 2012. Back then, the top 2 motivators were certainty and relatedness. People wanted connection and stability. By 2025, the ranking completely reversed. Autonomy and fairness are now the top 2 drivers. People today are far less willing to sacrifice control and equity for the sake of job security and social belonging. Remote work, the AI revolution, the pandemic. These shifts permanently changed what the brain prioritizes at work.
So, what does that mean practically for leaders right now?
2 things. First, offer micro-autonomy. Even in rigid environments, give people control over how a task is going to be completed or when a meeting takes place. That small choice activates significant reward response. Second, radical transparency. Because fairness is now the primary driver, leader must explain the why behind decisions. When people perceive unfairness, the brain literally fires a disgust response, the same region activated by rotten food. It's visceral and very hard to override. This led to his somatic marker hypothesis. Emotions are not the enemy of good decisions. They are integral to them. So leaders who take pride in being completely rational are working with neurological handicap.
Which explains why emotional intelligence isn't a nice to have. It's brain-based performance infrastructure.
Exactly. Daniel Goleman's research at Harvard showed that in senior leadership roles, emotional intelligence, self-awareness, empathy, and social skill accounted for 90% of the difference between an average and a star performer.
Roy Baumeister's research at Florida State showed that decision-making depletes a neural resource, often associated with glucose and prefrontal engagement. By late afternoon, judges are statistically more likely to deny parole. Leaders make riskier, less ethical decisions late in the day. Obama intuitively understood this before most leadership programs taught it. Let's talk emotional regulation. How leaders manage their own emotional responses in the moment. What's the neuroscience?
Matthew Lieberman at UCLA, his book Social is Essential Reading, showed that the act of labeling an emotion, which he calls affect labeling, reduces amygdala activation. Leaders who develop a habit of naming their emotions, frustration, anxiety, excitement, literally activate their rational brains faster. You are not suppressing the emotion, you are processing it through prefrontal cortex. In Siegel's terms, you are walking the emotion upstairs. A leader who pauses under pressure and internally labels, I'm feeling threatened right now, will make a far better decision in the next 30 seconds than the one who simply reacts.
Let's close this with the actionable stuff. If someone is listening and thinking, I want to lead differently starting tomorrow, what are the top 5 things?
Number 1. Create psychological safety daily. Ask questions instead of giving answers. Reward people for surfacing problems rather than hiding them. This is the single highest leverage neurological intervention. Number 2. Name emotions, yours and your team's. Remember Lieberman's research? Labeling reduces amygdala activation. In a tense meeting, simply saying, I can see this feels uncertain for the team, activates prefrontal cortex and its response. It brings everyone back upstairs. Number 3. Protect decision-making capacity. Schedule high-stakes decisions in the morning. Never make transformative choices in the last hour of the day. Reduce unnecessary micro-decisions. Number 4. Explain the why always. Fairness is now the top scarf driver. Every significant decision needs transparent reasoning, not a memo, a genuine explanation. Number 5. Give autonomy, even in small doses. When you can't give people control over outcomes, give them control over process. The brain's reward circuit responds to autonomy, regardless of scale. The bottom line is this. Neuroleadership isn't about making leadership more complicated. It's about aligning how we lead with how brains actually work, helping our people and ourselves stay upstairs. When you do that, performance, culture, and human well-being all move in the same direction. That's not idealism. That's neuroscience.